They say love makes the world go round, but in nature, love can also make the world stop. In the wild, love isn't always about romance and roses. Sometimes it's about hunger, sometimes it's about survival, and sometimes it's about death. This is the animals that kill their mates. She waits, still, elegant, almost holy. That peaceful, prayer-like pose is how she earned her name, the praying mantis. But behind that calm posture hides one of nature's most infamous killers. For the male mantis, romance is a risky mission. He approaches slowly, because one wrong move can turn courtship into a funeral. And the danger peaks during mating. In up to 30% of encounters, the female may bite off the male's head before, during, or after the act. But biology is full of strange genius. Even without his head, the male's body keeps mating. Reflexes in his abdomen continue pumping sperm, often more efficiently than when he's alive. And why does the female do it? It's not hate, it's hunger. Consuming the male gives her enough protein to boost her egg production, sometimes increasing offspring survival by nearly 40%. To her, it's not cruelty, it's strategy. To her, it's not murder, it's motherhood. To him, it's sacrifice, death in exchange for legacy. When the eggs finally hatch, hundreds of tiny mantises emerge, each carrying a piece of their father within them. Some males bring nuptial gifts to distract her and escape with lightning reflexes. And in species like the orchid mantis, cannibalism is actually rare. So yes, the praying mantis earned her deadly reputation. But in the logic of evolution, it's simple. Love feeds life, even when it comes at the cost of the lover. Down past the sunlit waves, through the twilight zone and into the black abyss, drifts one of nature's strangest lovers, the deep-sea anglerfish. In this world of eternal night, encounters are rare. Finding another living soul is almost a miracle. So, when a male anglerfish finally finds a female, he never lets go. The male, a tiny, fragile creature, barely a fraction of her size, bites into her skin, and that bite changes everything. Over time, his body fuses with hers. Their tissues merge, their bloodstreams connect. He loses his eyes, his fins, his organs, until he's nothing more than a living appendage on her body. What remains is the small reproductive part of him, attached to support her when she's ready to produce offspring. Scientists call it sexual parasitism, a relationship so permanent that there is no separation, no independence, no self, only her and the remnants of him. For decades, biologists were baffled. When they first discovered females with strange lumps on their sides, they thought they were tumors or parasites. It wasn't until the 1920s, when one was dissected, that the shocking truth emerged. Those parasites were males, fused completely into the female's body. In some species, females may carry more than one male, sometimes several fused partners at once. It sounds monstrous, but in the deep sea, where mates are almost impossible to find, it's pure evolutionary genius. Because when the darkness stretches for miles and life hangs by a thread, love can't be fleeting. It must be forever. On the remote Indonesian islands of Komodo, Rinca, and Flores, the last dragons still walk the earth. The Komodo Dragon, the largest lizard alive, up to 10 feet long, 150 kilograms of muscle, claws, and venomous saliva. For Komodos, courtship begins with violence. Males fight brutally to earn the female's attention. They rear up on hind legs, wrestling like reptilian gladiators, slamming each other with their massive tails and claws. The winner earns the female, but victory doesn't mean safety. When a female is finally approached, she decides whether to accept or attack. If she's not receptive, she'll lash out with savage force, sometimes injuring or killing the male outright. Even successful mating is rough, chaotic, and sometimes deadly. There are rare but chilling cases where females have killed or seriously injured males after mating, even eaten them. For the female Komodo, every calorie counts, and in nature, where energy is survival, the male can become just another meal. But here's where it gets even stranger. Komodo dragons can reproduce through parthenogenesis, a rare process where females lay viable eggs without fertilization, and those offspring are always male. Maybe nature's way of rebooting the species when the odds are stacked against survival. So whether it's through violence, death, or sheer independence, the Komodo dragon always finds a way. In Komodo love, dominance is everything, and weakness can mean death. At first glance, ducks seem harmless, gentle, floating symbols of peace. But for certain species like mallard and muscovy ducks, mating can turn violent, even fatal. Male ducks often chase females relentlessly, sometimes ganging up in groups to force copulation. They grab her by the neck, push her down, and in many tragic cases, the struggle leaves her hurt, exhausted, or worse. It's not cruelty, it's instinct. In the wild, every male fights for a chance to pass on his genes, even if it means the death of his partner. But evolution doesn't sit quietly. Over generations, female ducks developed astonishing countermeasures. Their reproductive tracts evolved into intricate, corkscrew-shaped mazes with twists, turns, and even dead ends. These natural defenses that help them stay selective about which males fertilize their eggs. Meanwhile, males evolved their own unique anatomy, designed for speed and precision, sparking one of evolution's most remarkable arms races between the sexes. Anatomy locked in battle, evolution sculpting defense against aggression, choice against force. It's disturbing, but it's also extraordinary. The Black Widow sounds like a warning. Jet black, her body gleaming, and on her belly, that glowing red hourglass. When it comes to romance, few creatures are as infamous as the Black Widow spider. Her beauty is deadly, her patience absolute, and for the male, the path to love is a one-way web. He approaches her carefully, trembling on silk threads, sending rhythmic vibrations across the web. If he's lucky, she allows him close. Even after mating, the female sometimes wraps her partner in silk, immobilizing him before sinking her fangs in. She starts with the abdomen, savoring her meal as his body twitches. But not every Black Widow kills her mate. Cannibalism is actually uncommon in the wild, often less than 5%. Higher numbers appear mostly in laboratory conditions. Surprisingly, some males seem to accept their fate. After mating, they sacrifice themselves voluntarily. By letting her eat him, he ensures she won't mate again. His death keeps her occupied, ensuring his genes, and only his, live on. Although in the wild, many males actually escape. They mate and dash away, leaving before she can react. But in captivity, where there's nowhere to run, the myth becomes reality. Scientists have even observed that well-fed females rarely kill their mates, suggesting that the so-called Black Widow behavior isn't cruelty, it's conditional. When hunger strikes, instinct takes over. Inside the womb of a sand tiger shark, several embryos develop side by side. By the time one of them grows teeth, it turns on the others, devouring its smaller siblings one by one. This chilling process is called intrauterine cannibalism, or more precisely adelphophagy, meaning eating one's brother. It's survival of the fittest before life even begins. By the time the surviving pup is born, it's already nearly a meter long. Each mother sand tiger shark has 2 uterine chambers, and only 1 embryo survives in each. That means she gives birth to just 2 pups. The rest never make it out. This brutal system evolved as a way to ensure that every newborn is powerful enough to survive. Even adult sand tiger sharks show signs of their violent nature. During courtship, males often bite the females to hold them in place. It's a rough but necessary behavior in the currents of the sea. The result? Females are often covered in scars. Despite their fearsome reputation, sand tiger sharks are not a threat to humans. Yet no matter how calm they seem in the water, their origins tell another story. In the world of the scorpion, every romance begins with a step and could end with a sting. 2 scorpions meet. Their tails curl high, stingers glinting in the dark. But instead of fighting, they begin to dance. It's called the promenade à deux, the dance of 2. The male clasps the female's pincers, and together they move across the sand in a slow, hypnotic rhythm. The male isn't just dancing, he's negotiating for his life. Their slow steps bring them to the place where this ritual must happen. He guides her into position and hopes he can retreat in time. If the female becomes irritated, stressed, or simply hungry, the dance can turn deadly. Once the act is over, the male must retreat fast. A single sting, and he could become her post-courtship meal. In some species, many males never make it back alive. But there's another side to the scorpion story. After giving birth, The mother carries her newborns on her back, protecting them until they molt and can fend for themselves. In nature, love and death often share the same heartbeat. To us, these behaviors seem monstrous, but to evolution, they're just strategies, perfected over millions of years to keep life going. And speaking of millions of years, if you want to see which creatures still carry the look of Earth's ancient past, don't miss this video. Modern dinosaurs, 7 birds that stole the Jurassic look. Click the video on your screen and enjoy.